Jenna,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you.
Um, your fun question for this week that we always do. Would you rather never be able to eat again or never be able to drink again?
Oh.
We get deep on this podcast.
Yeah, okay. What are the implications of not, would I just, always be thirsty and, die? Or,
No, I think it's just it's gone. You don't need to do it anymore.
Oh. Okay. Then I'd rather not drink.
Really?
Yeah. Because, I don't know. I'm not that exciting with, what I drink anyway. I mostly just, drink water.
Okay.
And, sometimes soda. So I wouldn't, I feel like I wouldn't be missing out. But, if I couldn't eat, I feel like it's a wider range of, things that I would be missing out on, you know? I don't know.
I think you kind of see that. You definitely get a lot more flavor with food. Than
Yeah,
you
I feel
do.
like eating is more satisfying than
Yeah.
drinking, generally speaking.
And don't take this the wrong way, like drinking.
I know you do,
I'm
Sam.
not an alcoholic. I've never had alcohol. I just, for whatever reason, I just enjoy drinking stuff
You just
more than
couldn't give up milk or what?
just milk, juice, any of those. They're just
Yeah.
so good.
I guess.
I don't know. I just can throw down.
But that would be your
no
whole
other.
life. That's all you could have.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Do you know how nice it would be to never have to cook again? Just grab.
I love cooking. Okay,
I
maybe that's
hate-
the issue. Okay, that's
probably
the
what it
issue.
is.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing we don't have Sam on here because he'd probably be
Yeah.
offended.
He
by-
would be incredibly offended. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, my bad, Sam. Hope you're still doing good in Brazil. But yeah, well, maybe we'll roll an intro. Maybe we have an intro by now.
Okay.
I don't know. If not,
You know I'm a huge advocate for the intro, so.
yeah. So maybe the intro's rolling right now.
Great.
Boo-doop, ba-doop, boo-doop, ba-doop. Sam was too lazy to write an intro, so sit back and just enjoy the show. When Sam's Midnight Ramblings.
Welcome to another week of Sam's Midnight Ramblings, and this time I get to go solo without Sam, and instead I have brought in my good friend Jenna, who, let me do the three things about Jenna.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how we do it. We do an introduction, and then you get to actually introduce yourself.
Okay. All right.
So, three things about Jenna. One, she's an accountant. Two, she is really into Formula One.
Yes.
And I've learned a lot because of it. And the last one is she has traveled a lot of places doing dance festivals. Is that what it is?
Yeah, folklore, traditional folklore.
Yes. Okay. And then world congresses too, right? Okay.
Yep.
See, I kind of know.
Yeah, no, that's pretty. I mean, that pretty much sums me up. That's it. It's
Well, you can add any extra sauce you want to your description.
what kind of sauce do you? I don't know.
I don't really know. Probably not too saucy.
Okay, all right.
I don't
Keep
know.
it
This is
contained.
about conversations at midnight, so I don't.
Yeah.
It also could be saucy.
Let's just go off the rails. Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty good depiction. I don't know. I grew up in Idaho. I wasn't born in Idaho, but I claim Idaho as home because that's where I grew up.
Okay.
So,
It's not in Colorado, but.
yeah. Well. Yeah. But Sam's also the other Sam's from Idaho, so I know
He'd
in
back you up.
that regard you're outnumbered here, so
Yeah,
that's
fair.
whatever. But
Thankfully, he's not here today.
yeah, well, whatever. It's fine. No, I love Idaho. Utah's fine. I don't know. I love where we're at in Logan, but I came to Logan I went to Utah State and I got my bachelor's and my master's degree in accounting. And
I'm just kidding.
oh yeah, no, I 100% I'm a nerd. Yeah, no, I don't deny this. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a nerd. Yeah, and then I don't know, I've just been working here for a while. I'm a CPA, so that's really fun. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but I work for an accounting firm based in Los Angeles actually, so I just work remotely here, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Sounds so nice.
Yeah, it's a good situation. So yeah, but yeah, love to travel. I don't know. That's pretty much it.
Well, that's a pretty good description.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay. So that's our fun introduction to Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the first time we even talked to you.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't really remember. I mean, I think it was when our wards combined. Because I feel like I'd seen you around, but I didn't actually know who you were. But then I became really
Typically
good friends
how it
with your
goes.
sister, so I feel
Yeah.
like that's how we really got to know each other.
I think so too. I think honestly it was probably at your apartment.
Probably.
Tiffany was like, "You should come over," and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
did.
okay. Yeah, you're like, oh, this feels kind of weird.
Well,
Like,
like, I didn't know anybody, and that was like my very like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk to people phase
Yeah,
of the
fair.
world.
Okay. You're angsty kind of.
Yeah, I was very angsty at the beginning of this year. But no, she's awesome. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I wanted you to be on this week is to talk about your recent experience at the Los Angeles Country Club.
Oh, yeah.
So give us a little background on why you
Very.
went and how was your experience there.
Yeah. So as I said, I work for an accounting firm based in Los Angeles, and we work on like pretty high net worth people, and as a result of that, our partners are quite wealthy. And one of our partners is a member of the LA Country Club. He's been a member there for like 17 years or something like that.
wow.
And he loves taking anytime like people are in the office, like he loves going to lunch there. Anyway, so they recently had us out there for like our big holiday events or whatever. And so this is my second time going. I went 2 years ago. And it's very intimidating because it's like all these rich, I mean, it's what you would imagine. It's like the rich, snobby people at the really fancy country club.
I could believe it.
So, and they send it it's serious. They send out like a dress code and everything. They have like all these rules for like what you can wear there. And like, they have rules on like technology, like you can't be on your phone in certain, like most areas of the building. Like you have to like go into a certain room. They have like a phone room.
It sounds like Fort Knox or
yeah,
like some,
honestly,
like,
it's
high
like,
government
it's
area.
crazy. It's crazy. So like that's always kind of into, and then I don't know, because I'm not a bougie person. It's like I feel like such a phony walking in there. I'm like, hi, like I had McDonald's before I came here. You know, it's just like I don't belong with these people. But it's really cool. It's beautiful, of course. And anyway, yeah, we this year we were kind of just like out in this terrace area. We were kind of separated from the rest of the club because there were some issues 2 years ago.
Fun.
Not for me, but everybody got kind of drunk and it was not good. So, yeah, my coworkers do that. It is an interesting thing because, like, when I go out there, it is just kind of an excuse for everybody to just like drink. So it's interesting for me because obviously, like, I don't drink.
Yep.
And there's a couple of coworkers who don't, but like. It's pretty much me just like watching everybody progressively get more wasted, and I'm just like, okay,
man.
all right. So, yeah, but it was funny this year. So we had like appetizers and stuff, and then we had our lunch, which was fantastic. Yeah, the food was really, really good.
Oh, bad. I can only imagine.
Oh, it was really yummy. And then we were kind of just hanging out, and the partner, his name is Chris, he's like, oh, does anybody want to take a tour of the grounds? And I was like, yeah, I do. And like a whole bunch of people like came with, so it was like this flock of people just going to like all of the like golf carts, and some of them were slightly inebriated, so I was like, okay, this is maybe not the greatest idea.
Whoa, drunk driving.
Yeah. I was like, this is not safe. But I got in the car with Chris, and so I was just like, okay, like I feel safe with him. Like he's the actual member here. So we were starting to go on this little tour, and it was just like, I'm trying to think, there was probably like 5 or 6 like little golf carts driving around. So we started going, and there weren't, by this time it was like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it was kind of starting to get towards the end of like the light. So there weren't a lot of people out on the course. Yeah. But so we started kind of going around, and then like somebody else in like the management or whatever came, and he's like, hey, like I've been told to like direct you back towards the clubhouse or whatever. And so we're like, oh, okay. Anyway, but we kind of kept like going. Like Chris wanted to show us, you can see Lionel Richie's house from the golf course, or like the back of his house. So he's like, I really want to show you the house. And so anyway, so we went over there, and then like security was kind of like chasing us down. I'm just like, they weren't like mad, I don't think.
You guys are like doing everything you can to get kicked out.
Yeah, honestly. And honestly, I'm like so nervous sitting on the car. I'm like, I'm sorry, Chris, like I don't want you to get kicked out because like I'm here. Like I promise I'm nice.
Goodness.
Like
that's so funny.
Yeah, anyway, so we looked at that, and like I don't think anybody was mad. They just try to like keep people out of the way partially, I think, for safety reasons, if people are out on certain parts of the course, they don't want people like getting hit by golf balls and stuff.
That's fair.
So, but like all of the players and stuff that were out there when we were driving past, they're like, "Oh, hey, Chris, how's it going?" You know, so they were nice about it. So I don't think anybody was upset. It was just like
that's good.
They're just trying to keep people in line. But yeah. Anyway, but it was I don't know. It's just really funny. It's really interesting, just like seeing the kind of people that are there. I learned about how much money it costs to like be a member there, which is insane.
Yeah.
So, and some of this, I feel like, okay, I don't know if this is like 100% accurate, because part of it's like word of mouth, and then I was like Googling part of it also, which, as we all know, everything on the internet is true.
Oh, it's so true.
So
I trust it with my life.
Yeah, exactly. But to be a member there, like, you have to be invited. You can't just ask to join.
Not my type of club.
No. And so, yeah, so you have to be invited, and then there's like an initiation fee, which somebody told me it was $300,000. I saw online it was $250,000. So somewhere in that range, it's a good chunk of cash. And then annual dues are like $24,000, I think.
Okay.
And then you have to spend a minimum of $12,000 at the club, like every year. So it's just like,
that's like,
it's so much money.
The price of this place we're in right now.
I know,
like,
it's crazy.
It's insane.
And here's the thing, they asked me to join. But I said no, because it's just, that's a bit of far for me to like commute to go golfing, you know? So
I'm
just kidding.
You get with the right people, they'll fly you out there.
I mean, I guess, yeah, they really, I don't know.
They can hook you up.
Yeah.
And then you should just invite your friend, aka me.
Yeah. No, here's the thing though. I told you last time, I actually have never been golfing a day in my life.
We need to fix that.
I know. Yeah.
As an accountant, like, it's against, like, how is that not in, like, the oath of being an accountant? You're like, I will commit to going and playing golf 3 times a week.
I know, it's crazy. It is like, I can't even tell you how many like networking events and stuff, like when I was in school, they would have of like, come meet the firms and like go golfing, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, maybe I'm putting myself at a disadvantage, but I'm like, I don't golf, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So.
I think because I did golf in high school, and towards the end of it, I was like, man, this is gonna come in really handy and like later in life when it's like, oh, I gotta make like this big business deal and be like, well, I can show them up on the golf course.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No. You never know, though. That could be, like, back
I hope so.
You need to, like, challenge somebody of, like, okay, if I do this, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. And then just, like, totally be, like, a ringer. And
I
don't know.
Maybe. I mean, because I went to and I felt kind of that same way of, like, I'm not a high class enough to be at this place. But, like, one of our people that we work with for work, they do a customer appreciation golf tournament at the end of every year. So I went to it the second time this year, but the first time it definitely was like everyone's pulling up and they're like really nice cars, and I'm in this like ghetto room. I don't even know what. Pull out my golf clubs from like high school, and I was like, oh gosh, what am I even doing here?
You're like, I can hang. I promise I'm the same.
Yeah,
No,
plus like majority of them are probably 10 years older than me or above, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then there's people talking about all these big deals with like Facebook and Google, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, I like just help my company sell books online.
Like, that's it.
I'm really,
that's it for me.
Just chilling out here.
Yeah, it's just like we're not the same.
No, but thankfully I was kind of that ringer. I was hitting bombs with the driver, and I was like, okay, I fit in a little bit, at least on this side.
Yeah, at least you have the chops to.
Yeah.
See, I don't even have that. I'm just like, well, I'm wearing my fanciest dress that I got from Amazon. So I felt like I looked pretty good, but like, it's still intimidating. I don't know. So
that is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's country clubs are crazy.
Yeah,
I've looked at the one here in Logan, and I think that initiation fee is like $20,000 or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but like the annual is a lot less than what it is there. It's probably only like, I don't even remember, but yeah.
I've been to like the clubhouse there a couple of times.
It looks fancy.
Yeah, I went to lunch there a couple of times with, this is what I used to work for an accounting firm in Logan, and they would have, like, every month they have, like, an estate planning council. So it's, like, a bunch of accountants and lawyers and financial planners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I got to go a couple of times and listen, like, eat fancy food and listen to a lot of stuff that went over my head.
That sounds very businessy.
Yes, indeed.
It's amazing how much food is just involved in business.
I know.
Like,
it's kind of great, actually.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Well, cool. That sounds like a good time.
It was an experience for sure.
Yeah.
We probably won't be invited back again, but
I mean, you cause enough problems.
I know. We had to take a year off last year. Like, we didn't go back last year, but we'll see. I don't know. This partner is, like, retiring. Like, he keeps saying that he's retired, but, like, I think he's just, like, bored and, like, still wants to. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he has, like, a season pass at Disneyland, he said, and he just,
gosh.
he just goes to Disney, like, by himself. Like,
this, like,
little grandpa, like, just goes to Disneyland by himself.
Wow.
Like,
sounds like he should look for a job there.
I know, honestly. I'm like, I don't know.
You could be, like, whatever Belle's dad is.
Yeah. And just, like, tinker around and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Dang,
he's the nicest
crazy.
guy. It's really funny, but.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten kicked out of a place before?
Ooh. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
I want to know Jenna's deep, dark past.
No. Oh, gosh. Not anything like that. Here's the thing, Sam. I hate feeling like I'm in trouble. Like, I'm such a rule follower because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I'm such a, like, good kid.
Yeah.
That was a kid. I'm an adult. But, like, I
view yourself
as an adult. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. And so, I don't think I have. Let's see. I don't think I have ever been kicked out of somewhere.
Man, lucky.
I don't know. Maybe that's not true.
We should change that.
No, I'm okay.
The problem is, like, now doing it, it's like, well, now I could get, like, arrested.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I'm like, what a stupid thing to, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only thing that comes to mind is, like, one time I used to live, like, right by the factory, like, housing complex, right? And so we could, like, it was really easy to, like, sneak into the hot tub there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, we didn't, like, get, like, kicked out, but it was just kind of like, hey, you guys.
Definitely, like, hey, please.
So
go.
That's, like, the only thing that kind of comes close.
It kind of counts.
Yeah.
Kind of, just a little bit.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm boring. But now I feel like you've got some stories you want to tell.
I just have one that I can really remember. There might have been other times, but it was state track my, like, sophomore year. We went into this Dick's Sporting Goods, and it was a 2-level one. And for whatever reason, we had this little, like, foam baseball or something that we were just, like, messing with the whole weekend. And so we were just kind of, like, playing with it, walking up to the digs. We go into digs, and, like, we get in there and we see, oh my gosh, there's a second floor. And so we go up, and as we're up there, we were like, oh my goodness, there's this, like, balcony area that, like, opens up into the downstairs. And we're like, you know what we should do? We should get on opposite sides of this, and we should throw this ball to each other.
That's a great idea.
It was a great idea. So we ended up doing it. We were able to get one throw across, and then on the throw back, I think it fell down, and so my friend, like, went off to go get it. And so me and my other friend were just still standing up there, and then the associate, like, comes up. He's like, hey, could you stop? And we're like, oh, yeah. And he's like, actually, I'm gonna have to escort you out.
Oh, okay.
And so we, like, starts walking us, and then our friend that, like, got the ball, like, came up behind us and was, like, awkwardly like, yeah, I'm with these guys. So,
just like,
yeah.
That's funny.
All I gotta say is it's a really good thing we didn't tell our coach, or else we might have been, like, locked in our rooms for the rest of the
seriously.
weekend.
Oh, gosh, I'm trying to think. You know, it's so dumb. Like, I remember, like, in high school. Okay, so I'm from a really small town, so I feel like you'll kind of appreciate this. Like,
I mean, you say small town, and I went to your town, and I was like, this place is huge.
Okay, well, compared to your tiny little town with, like, 6 people, it's like, but, like, for, you know, normal standard, it is relatively small. And, you know, I don't know, like, my friends in high school, we didn't have a lot to do, really, so you kind of just, and, like, I remember distinctly, there was, like, one night we were kind of just, like, driving around, and they're like, hey, like, do you want to go get kicked out of Walmart? And I was like, No. I don't want to do that.
Yes
like,
to that, Jenna.
No.
You say yes.
No, because, like, I don't want to, like, I don't know. That's so stupid. Like, I just want to go home. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
man.
kind of a buzzkill. I've always been kind of a stick in the
That's
mud,
so
which is why
funny.
I'm an accountant. But,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
That's so
it
great.
figures, so.
I love that.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, we are getting close to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So with that comes a little bit of reflection on this year.
Yeah.
Did you make any New Year's resolutions last year?
No, not really. I fall into the camp of, like, being really bad at New Year's resolution, as
I'm
like
so
most
bad at
people
them.
are. But I don't really remember. I don't know. I remember, like, starting this year thinking, like, oh, this is gonna be a really good year. And without being too much of, like, a sob story, this has been a really hard year for me.
A couple of bumps along the way.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's just been like, it just turned into, like, so different than what I thought it was gonna be. But that's not to say, like, there have been some, like, really, really awesome moments too, and so you kind of have to take, like, the good with the bad.
Yeah.
And
then give me 2 or 3 highlights of this
Okay.
year.
Okay, this is gonna be weird as a highlight.
Welcome to the podcast.
Okay, honestly though, one of the best things I have done this year is I started seeing a therapist.
Hey.
And it was kind of weird when I started seeing, because I was like, I'm pretty mentally healthy. Like, I'm pretty, I'm like, when I started going, I was like, I don't even really know why I'm here. But, like, I'm really glad that I started seeing him when I did, because a lot of things happened that I just was like, oh, this is actually, like, really hard to deal with. And I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I guess I always had this idea of, like, you have to go to therapy if you're, like, have all this trauma or, like, a really bad situation. And, like, that's not necessarily true. Like, sometimes it's just, like, nice to have somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of or get an outside perspective of your life. And so that's honestly been a highlight, and it's really been a huge help in dealing with all this stuff. So I feel like that's a little bit too deep.
No, that's great. I like it. Did you decide on getting them a gift basket or something?
I did.
Okay.
I did bring it to him, and and he's like, what? Like, what is this? And I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to say thank you. And he's like, he was telling me he was doing, like, this CPE course or something on, like, ethics and stuff. And there he's like, yeah, like, I don't know. There's, like, weird rules and stuff with giving. And I was like, or, like, giving gifts. And I was like, I was worried about that. And he's like, no, he's like, I'm going to accept this. Like, he's like, one, I think it's kind of rude not to. But it's, like, really just, like, they don't want, like, clients giving them, like, big things. And then, so he's like, no, this is, like, fine. Anyway, he was really nice about
That's
it. So.
really funny.
But I was like, I don't know, is that, like, a weird thing to get your therapist a present? I don't know, but I'm like, whatever, it's Christmas. So.
It's Christmas.
It's fine.
Enjoy the season.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess another highlight, I feel like I got to see my family a lot this year. Like, I don't know, just doing a bunch of things with my family was super fun. And my niece, especially, she's my favorite little thing. And
Aw.
so I love any chance I have to, like, be with her.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah. And then just, like, finding some really awesome friends, like my friends Sam and the other Sam. And just, like, I don't know, just, like, yeah, I've found some really good friends who have, yeah, it's just been super highlight of the year. So
That's great. I
let's
love
hear your
it.
highlights.
My highlights. Man, I was not ready to think about my life. Let's see. I think I'd go along with the friends thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of different trips and things with friends this year that have been really awesome. We did, like, a 3 a.m. hike up to some hot springs in the middle of a rainstorm. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did an Idaho trip that Sam planned, and that was a lot of fun. We went to your place. We got to watch some boat races,
That's
which was
right.
awesome.
Yeah. That was fun. Gosh, that seems like so long ago.
I know.
Like, that was literally just in June.
It
but, like,
feels like 3 years
oh my
ago.
gosh, that's crazy.
It's been so crazy. But yeah, like, I don't know, just a bunch of random things like that I've made really awesome.
Yeah.
And then I was able to mark some things off of my, like, plans, type of dreams, type of things this year.
Yeah, big
And
one.
I definitely thought, because I, like, a couple years ago, I put, like, I wanted to get a truck, and I wanted to buy a house. I think it was like last year or something.
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know, by the end of this year, I would have those two things marked
both
off.
done. Look at you go.
And
You're
so
accomplished.
I'm like, I don't know what to want.
Gotta set some new goals.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but no, I think, yeah, those two things have been the best.
That's awesome.
So it's been a really good year. I've really liked it.
It's good.
Started out the year rough. Went through some rough things at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But now that we're at the end of it, it's just been awesome. I've loved it.
Yeah, I feel like I flip-flopped. Like, I started off really good, and then I was like, oh, no. Like, this is rapidly going downhill. But I feel like it's kind of come around full circle. I feel like I'm ending the year in a much better spot, and which is really good. So
that's great.
Yeah.
No, that's all we can hope for, honestly. Yeah. Any big... I'm not going to say resolution since you don't do that, but any dreams, goals you have for this upcoming year?
Yeah, oh man, I would love to buy a house. I think that's kind of like the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've definitely been saving for it, but it's just like so
it's
expensive.
Terrifying.
It's so,
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a couple different things that are like holding me back of just like, it seems like so permanent, and like I don't know, for some reason, like just being like a single person, I'm like like it seems like such a big thing to just like be tied down, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, no, you could always sell it or rent it. Like there's plenty of options, you know. But it just seems like such a huge commitment of just like tying up all my money and stuff, and I don't know, but I don't know, but there's like pros and cons for sure. So I don't know, I think it'd be cool. I would love to just like be in my own space, and like I honestly would like love to get a dog too, but I would feel bad getting a dog unless I had like adequate space to have for the dog, you know. So I don't know.
That's fair. But it's a scary thing. Yeah.
You just did it though.
I did, and it was the most stressful 2 months of my life.
Yeah.
Like literally, oh my gosh, it was probably like.
Yeah, that's the most stressed I've ever seen you. Like, you're a pretty easygoing guy, and I was like, oh dear, poor Sam.
It was hitting the rough end, but now that we're almost to the very end of it,
we're what
good.
A great way to end the year, though. That's
awesome. I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was right around Thanksgiving time, something to be really grateful for.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Next year, who knows? Maybe if I'm gonna keep on this nice stride and trend of stuff, maybe I can start up my own business.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I think that's like the actual next goal I have.
What kind of business?
That's the problem.
Okay.
Because like I have background in like software and that type of stuff, but I don't really know if I love it.
Okay.
And so I don't know if I'd really want to be like having to self-motivate myself to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's the only thing I really know how to do, and that's the problem. Mm. But
it could be a jumping off point, though. You don't have to, you know, like...
Yeah. So, there's possibilities, there's things I could do.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of working my way up there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So.
Well, if you need somebody to do your bookkeeping, I know a gal.
I know. I like, honestly, because this year I was actually planning on trying to move out of state. Mm-hmm. In like August, it was my like goal. I was like, I'm going to leave Logan. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to start fresh somewhere else. Yeah, I was making big plans about it. But for whatever reason, I got the impression, like, no, you should stay. Mm-hmm. Like, not a good idea. And, yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then, like, I think it was honestly James. He said, like, the final thing that, like, really helped me solidify it. Because I was, like, talking about, like, yeah, I guess I'm going to stay and, like, kind of want to start my own thing. He was like, well, it's, like, a great thing to stay. Because then, like, you have your connections here. Mm-hmm. Like, you know the people that can help you, like, do stuff and other things. And so
that's true.
I think that's
a good perspective.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of those things, this podcast, it wouldn't have happened if I had left. So it's crazy to think about that. Yeah, I probably, without that impression, I'd be probably in like, I don't know, probably Midwest, East Coast, who knows.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But nope, here we are with my house, with my truck.
Love it.
Life is great.
Oh, yeah. Just doing all the things.
Yep. Oh, man. Okay. Well, this might be a shorter episode.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not very good at hosting.
That's not true. You're doing a great job. It's not easy doing it by yourself, but like, you're doing
do you have any questions for me?
Oh.
Yeah, let's throw it on you.
Oh, no. I didn't
take off my word.
Oh, okay. I did. Oh, gosh. Okay, now I'm like so on the spot. This is like
This is what we feel like every time.
I know, honestly. I'm like trying to think of like a thought-provoking question, but like I don't know.
Doesn't have to be thought-provoking.
Oh, okay.
This is about Midnight Ramblings. It'll be as dumb as you want it to be. Plus, Sam's not here to censor us in any way.
Okay. Oh, man, you've already talked about, like, embarrassing moments and stuff. Okay. Oh, here's one.
Ooh, okay.
What is, like, a guilty pleasure, like, TV show or movie?
Oh, snap. Guilty pleasure one. Man, this might be really revealing. Now I'm like anxious.
Here we go.
I don't know. I'm really trying to think. So there's this show I'd watch. It's an anime.
Okay.
But it is about, and only the first season. After the first season, don't watch it. It gets trashed. And
Okay.
I've never been so let down by a show before than with this one. It was really sad. But the first season is just so funny. So it's about this. He's the devil, but they're from a different world. Oh. And so like there's this big war going on between the devil and like the church and the angels and whatnot. And then there's this hero, and so she fights the devil, beats him in a battle, and then he goes through this portal to go to a different world.
Huh.
And he ends up in our world.
Oh, snap.
And so, like, he loses his powers, and he's trying to figure out, like, how the world works. And so he ends up working at McDonald's.
Oh, my gosh. Seems about right.
Yeah. So he's working at McDonald's as, like, a part-time worker. And he's, like, so into it. And he had, like, one of his, like, generals come with him who was, like, this stay-at-home mom type of person trying to like keep the house in order.
Oh my gosh.
But then the hero also managed to come over to our world, and she...
What, does she work at like Chick-fil-A or something?
No, she works at a call center.
Oh no! Oh, that's worse.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, I worked at a call center for like 3 months, and it was awful. Like, it was so bad.
It's so bad. I did tech support, and that alone was just nightmarish.
Funny story about that, actually. Sorry to go off on a tangent.
Keep going. This rambling.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I worked at this call center. This is when I was like still a poor college student, and I was working 2 jobs. So I was working at JCPenney, and then at the call. So I would work at the call center in the morning, and then go home and take like a quick power nap, and then like go and work at JCPenney at night. It was awful.
Dang.
Because I had no money, and so anyway, and so partway through the summer, I went home for like a week for something. It might have been for like our dance festival or something. Mm-hmm. And I came back and I was just like, I can't go back there. And so I just like stopped going. Like, I didn't officially quit. I just like stopped going, which probably isn't the most professional thing I've ever done. But
it's fine.
But I was like, I can't.
It's high turnover.
Honestly, I'm like, I think it probably happens all the time. I was just like, I'm done. So I just like never went back.
That's so funny. Oh man. But yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So she's working at a call center.
Yeah, so she works at a call center, and so it's just a story of them doing like everyday normal type of things, but they have this like fantasy spin to them that just makes it so funny. Like she, the like first time they interact, he doesn't know that she's the hero, and so he like gives her umbrella because it's raining.
Okay.
She's like, what the heck? And so he goes off, and then they run into each other again. She like meets him after work.
So do they look different then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like he had horns and everything, and he lost it, and like her hair changed colors or something.
Okay.
And then she like threatens him with this like dollar store knife, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, do you have money?" It's just like, whatever. It's hard. And then he's like, "Well, then where's my umbrella?" And she's like, "Well, I broke it up because you're the worst, and I hate you." And it's just so funny. It's just like, I don't know, just young adult.
I love that.
Type of just people figuring out life while also being these like mystical type of
That's
people.
Really funny.
It's
What was it called?
So it's called The Devil's Part-Timer.
Okay.
That's the actual name.
That's pretty funny.
And actually, their McDonald's actually used a clip from that show in one of their commercials recently.
Seriously?
It like blew my mind. I was like,
oh
what
my gosh. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Good on them. That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, don't watch anything beyond the first season.
Okay, noted.
It's so funny. And that is my guilty pleasure. I will claim it as my guilty pleasure of the show.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. First time I watched it, it was like finals week of my junior year in college did not help me do my finals at all.
Probably not.
I
no.
spent,
Just,
I
like,
binged
binge
it hardcore, just dying laughing
You know what?
every
Sometimes
episode.
like you do what you got to do to like make it through. You know.
Oh yeah.
And you obviously like made it through your degree and everything. So
Yeah,
you're fine.
I was fine.
No harm done.
That's another talk for a different day. Is how bad I am. Really good at doing school, but I'm really bad at doing school.
Oh really? No, I was
like I am the. I did this at the last minute. Still
Yeah.
got an A, but I stressed hardcore in the last 40 minutes trying to finish.
Oh my
it.
gosh, that is so. I am like the opposite, like anti that. I was like,
I wish I was. My life would
I'm
be
like,
so much better. If
I'm
I
your
was.
typical like overachiever student and stuff, and it's just like I put so much work into school and just like I don't know. That's like I don't know.
It's good. It's better to be that than what I was.
Yeah, I mean it has other consequences that are like. I don't know. I mean, I put so much of like my like worth into like being a good student because I was like, that's the only thing that I'm really good at.
Oh no.
And so at least that's what. Anyway, so now I'm like having to like I'm like, hey, like maybe let's not put all of our worth in our accomplishments. Like I don't know. So I'm having to like rewire my brain.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. That is
I don't know.
fair. I guess that does help. That's probably why I like have such a chill attitude because
Yeah.
I like
You just,
didn't
like,
really
do it.
care about like
Yeah.
that stuff. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
doesn't
well, that's
really
probably
matter.
Better way to be. But,
Pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
that's
all
fine.
yeah.
you know.
But cool. Okay, any final wisdom you'd like to impart upon the listeners?
Final wisdom. I don't know. I don't think I'm very wise, but
You're probably wiser than I.
I don't know. Okay, I guess this is kind of going back to like New Year's resolutions because I feel like most people have a hard time doing an actual resolution. But I remember a couple years ago, my little brother showed me this YouTube video of this guy like explaining how he doesn't necessarily do like a full resolution, but he tries to like break up his year into like seasons and not necessarily like seasons like the weather or whatever,
Yeah.
like, but just seasons of, like an example that I gave is like, okay, this is going to be a season of novelty. And so like anytime like he's presented with a choice of like, oh, you know, I could either go to this new restaurant or, you know, somewhere that I'll like, I don't know, kind of like a classic favorite or whatever. Like any option that he has is like, okay, I'm going to try something new. Or you could do like a season of, I don't know, like financial stability if you're trying to get like your finances in order, or like I did this a couple years ago and I did like a season of like adventure. So I was just trying to like, I don't know, push myself to like do new things and stuff. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of an easier way to like, you can just set the time of like, okay, I want to do a season of this. And that way it's not so like pass or fail of like, I'm not doing my resolution, but it's just like, you're generally working towards kind of, like a I don't know, attribute or I don't know. I don't know.
I
thought it was
love
cool.
that.
I
I really like that because it's so true. Like the problem I have with resolutions is like this is an entire year thing.
Yeah.
And like
It's like seems so exhausting.
I barely know what I'm going to do with the year out or
Yeah.
the month after
Yeah.
the one I'm currently in. So being able to break it up into that, because then it
Yeah.
also just adds variety. It
Yeah,
allows you
for
to
sure.
experiment, allows you to not be so stressed out about
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't do this.
Well, and you can make it to be like anything you want. You know, it's like
Yeah.
instead of being like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, it's like, okay, I want a season of like health. So it's like, okay, what like other things
Gonna
that can I
work
do?
out,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
eat better.
change my diet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I think there's like I think it just opens it up to like more possibilities.
No,
of things
I really like
Yeah,
that.
so
I'm probably going to steal
like
that.
I know. Well, I'm like plagiarizing from this other. It's probably like another podcast, and I'm like, so I'm not claiming this. Like this is not mine. This is something I saw a couple years ago, but I have found it to work better, and I don't know. It's I don't know. It's kind of cool.
No, I love that so much.
So
Dang.
anyway, that's
Great wisdom.
Oh,
great,
thank you.
Great
Gosh.
parting wisdom. This is why we're friends.
Yeah, you know.
There's other reasons, but
it. Okay, I was like, that's the only reason. That's why
because you
keep me
dub
around.
movies with me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
we should brief over that really quick. Do you want to explain what happened on?
Sure.
Was that
What
2
day
days
was that?
ago?
2 days ago? Yeah.
Tuesday.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I'm bad at telling stories because I give so many, like, irrelevant details, so feel free to edit out anything that is just like, Jenna, this is an irrelevant
It's
detail,
fine.
but...
It's fine.
Okay, so I had a couple people over,
I was one of them.
yes. Thank you. Sam was one of them. And we were watching a Christmas movie, and, the first Christmas movie that we watched, I announced it as, like, the worst like Hallmark Christmas movie you will ever see, and I think it lived up to
was
the
rough.
It was terrible. It's so bad. Like I could have written a better movie. It was so bad. Anyway, so we're all kind of like in this like weird mood, and my TV just kind of went to like the home screen or whatever, and I had muted it, but then all of a sudden it started like playing this other like Hallmark movie just like on its own.
It was so weird.
And so we started watching it, and we're like, what is going on? Because there's like this lady like in her office, and then she's like obviously in a fight with like her boyfriend, and then she has like this little dog, and then she's like sleeping under her desk at work, and so we're like, what is happening? And so we left the movie on mute, and we started like dubbing over it. So like we each had our own character. So I was like dubbing like the female lead, Sam was doing the male lead, and like clearly not at all what the movie was. We're just like
to it.
going off the rails of like she's like offended his family because they go to like his family's cabin in the woods and stuff, and like we were making up this whole story of like how they were really offended because their family came from Scotland and she didn't know where that was. And, like, I'm trying to think of like other things that we were saying. It was so stupid.
We had like a bit about the Jeep he was driving.
Oh my gosh,
being
yeah.
from Japan.
Like it passed down from his family in the war.
Yeah.
It's just like what?
Oh my god.
The sad thing is, we did it for a long time, like probably like 30 minutes. We watched it through like several commercial breaks, and we were like, all right, here we go. Like we can start
back in it again.
Oh my gosh. And then like most of it honestly is like, I don't know what to say. Like I don't know, or like talking when they're like clearly not speaking. Like
you were so funny about
no.
it because you would always be like talking when they weren't talking,
I know.
and anytime they were talking, you'd be laughing too hard to talk.
It's fine.
It was
fine.
so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that honestly, I was just like, what is happening? Like, I think we were all just a little like slap happy or something.
So
it was just
slap
like,
happy.
it wasn't even that late.
No,
it was like 10.
I know. Like we left at 10:30, which means it was like 9:30 when we started.
It was so weird. Anyway, it was very funny. So we're gonna have to do that again, but I'm gonna have to work on my improv skills. So.
Yeah, I just loved how like we'd be like going on a bit, and then like the scene would change. It'd be like, oh, I'm not ready for what
something
just
like
happened.
completely different. Well, and they'd introduce new characters, and so we're like, oh crap, like who's gonna play this?
This? Yeah.
So yeah, it was
so much fun.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Probably.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh my gosh, it's
dubbing your
own
own
pretty
movies.
Funny. We for a while we like put the sound back on so we could try to get some context, and we're like, okay, the actual story is like pretty weird too.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know the premise of that whole movie.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
don't even know what it's called, so I can't even go back.
I know. I like kind of want to like try.
I know, like track it down.
I'm way too of the people like I need to know how the story ends.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm like I just need to know what the story was to begin
Yeah.
with.
See, okay, here's my thing: is like this might be my way to get because like I generally speaking like I hate Hallmark movies because they're so bad, and I'm sorry for the people that I'm offending. But the acting is always so terrible. The story is so terrible. I'm just like, it's so... Ugh,
so rough.
But I'm like, that might be the way to watch it. Just like, if you go into it intending to just like rip it to shreds and like, I'm like, I'm down for that. Yeah. Sign me up for that.
And that's why like I enjoyed the one we watched just because like we didn't care and we just like made fun of it the entire time.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do it.
For anybody interested, the terrible Christmas movie... that we watch. It's called Christmas Mail. It's awful. Like, I honestly think the budget for that whole movie was like $30. Like, it's so bad.
It's just like somehow I'm betting it was some mailman was working in the like sorting office and was like, you know what, we can make a Hallmark movie here. Yeah. And then the Hallmark was like, yeah, sure, we're gonna give you $50 to film it. Yeah. Have fun.
And they're like, awesome.
Yeah. It's like,
and that whole $50 went into like using CGI for the freaking sprinkles. Like they had a sprinkle fight, and they were like, it was like I just like added in post. Like they didn't use actual sprinkles. No. Like that's where the whole budget went for that movie.
Yes, it was so bad.
Oh dear,
my gosh, so great. I'm so glad you shared that with us.
Yeah, I hope you don't think less of me than you
already
have.
I kind of think less of you because of the fact that you have the DVD of it.
Okay.
That is kind of extra.
Okay. In my defense, so my brother and my little brother used to live with me, and we discovered this movie because there was a YouTuber that like did this review of it, and the YouTube review was hilarious. I feel bad because there is some like bad language in it, so like if you want it, but it's Drew Gooden who does review of it.
Oh,
and
okay.
anyway, and so it's super funny. But so we were like, we have to find this movie. And so I looked on Amazon, and it was like $7, and I was like, why not? So it wasn't like I didn't spend like a crazy amount of money. I was like, this is fine.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So.
I can't believe they made a DVD of that.
I know, honestly, it's crazy.
Oh man,
So.
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much for being on the pod.
Thanks
with
for having
today.
me. I think. Am I still the first girl? Am I the first
You
girl?
are
on
the
podcast?
first girl we've had on the podcast.
Wow.
Depending on what Sam has recorded, depending
okay.
on other stuff. I
Okay.
don't know what he's doing in Brazil.
Gotcha.
Nobody knows what happens in Brazil. What
That's-
happens in Brazil stays in Brazil unless you record a podcast of it.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
So we'll see what he does. We'll see what happens. But I get the
Nice.
feeling, yeah, you will be the first
Awesome.
one. You'll
What an honor.
Probably coming out the 27th
Great.
of December.
Oh, awesome. Right after Christmas.
Yeah, I'm in charge of it, so I'll just say it's gonna be the 27th.
Great. Okay.
You are the first.
Woohoo. That's very exciting.
This is the part we struggle with still. We don't know how to end this. So give us your best ending here, Jenna.
Oh, gosh.
Sign us off.
Ah!
Actually, wait, before we get to that, let me interject. Me and Sam are wanting to do an episode of just like voice clips of responding to comments from people that posted to the episodes.
Oh.
So on Spotify, on YouTube, however, those are the only two options we have right now. But however you take it in, feel free to go ahead, post a comment, a question you have for
that.
us. And in an upcoming episode, we will respond to them. We'll have some feedback with you guys. So
I'm going to ask you like all these like super prying questions of like
And-
spill all your tea. I mean, I feel like I already know a lot of
You
your
know a
tea,
lot
but
of
like
tea.
tell everybody else
I
your
don't
tea.
know. I am a
I know, that's true.
I'm a deeply reserved on my pride.
That is, you are pretty reserved. I don't know.
I
You have a Sam
I
sense
think it
maybe.
just helps in that like I have a lot of things to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
and so the things that are like more close, I can keep them close because I
Yeah.
can just surface level everything else.
Sam, like, I just share way too much. I don't know. I'm a chronic oversharer, so if you want to know anything about me, just ask. I'll probably tell you, and
Yeah,
more
if
than
you
want
guys
to know.
have questions for Jenna,
Oh,
you can
gosh.
throw those on there too.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead, comment. You can also rate us on Spotify.
5 stars only.
We had 3 reviews already.
Oh, really?
I was thoroughly amazed. So whoever did that, thank you so much.
That's
I don't know who you are, but like you deserve
I don't know how you do on.
something.
Is it just on Spotify or can you do it on YouTube? I don't know.
On YouTube, you can like.
Okay.
And that's about all you can do on YouTube.
Okay.
But on Spotify, yeah, you can rate the whole
Okay.
show.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I recommend it. And yeah, if you guys like talking to us, share us with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Me and Sam will stress out about the fact that random people are having to listen to us talk.
They get to listen to it.
Right.
Yeah. What an honor it is for us.
Oh yeah. So yeah, go ahead and share it. We've been loving it. We love talking, having friends on.
Yeah.
It's just been a really good time, and we hope you guys are enjoying it too.
I'm glad that this came to fruition because, I mean, you guys were kind of talking, like, last week about how this kind of came to be. And I remember for, like, weeks and weeks, I was like, you guys, like, actually need to do that.
Yeah.
And then you told me about microphones, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's happening. So it's exciting. It's really fun. So.
It's been awesome. It's been a great journey, and you guys make it so much better. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we thank all of our guests. We thank all of you guys listening.
I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and have a great New Year. And yeah, I don't know.
No, I think that's great.
Does that work? I don't know.
That works great. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.